You also voted against a bipartisan gun bill that passed recently. Was it just not in the cards? Why'd you vote against that one?
Well, first of all, let's keep in mind, this is not going to do anything to prevent this from happening. And as you know, I was in the parade in Lincoln this past weekend when all of a sudden the SUV comes weaving in and out of that parade, headed straight toward my car that I was in at that time. It is only through God's mercy that no one was killed. No one was killed in that accident, in what happened there. And, what are we going to do? Are we going to outlaw SUVs because they can be used as a weapon of destruction? And that's, this gun bill was nothing more than an infringement upon our Second Amendment rights. And we need to be aware of that. I've never been a fan of red flag laws where you have to go to court and prove you're innocent. And also that bill included a longer waiting period, universal background checks. It did impede on our Second Amendment rights. And in the Constitution, it says that our rights will not be infringed upon.
Do you believe the Constitution is an outdated document?
No, I do not. I believe it is a leading document that should continue to lead us into the direction that we have in this country.
Something pretty prominently featured in that is the separation of church and state. And the Supreme Court also ruled last week that the state, sorry, not the state, I guess, the feds can now fund Christian schools. Is that something you support?
Yes, absolutely. And it's something that we need to get back to in our country. And that is that we need to get back to our religious roots. We need to get back to the fact that our country was founded on the premises of God and our belief in God, and that we would continue to be that way in a country. And I think that that's one of the biggest problems that we have in our country right now, is that we've gotten away from God. I think one of the worst decisions ever made by the Supreme Court, aside from Roe versus Wade, was taking prayer out of the schools. I still think they got that wrong. And I applaud what the Supreme Court did with the coach out in Washington State, in Oregon, and in the Northwest, and allowing him the freedom of speech and the freedom to pray on the field after a game.
Do you think we should fund other religious schools besides Christianity?
Well, that'll be up to the courts to see. And certainly that's something that, that's why we have three different branches of government, and that's up to the judicial branch.